I'm almost here. I'm almost here. Don't worry about it. I am here. Hi. Hi, smash. Hello. I'm alive. I'm here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goody goodness. Just need to grab this thing, move it over to here. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm alive. I hope everyone's having a good day. I've been having a time. Oh, Dave Martin, how you doing? I am alive. I am here. I'm a couple of minutes late because, you know, I'm disorganized and I lose track of time. You're good. You're good. I'm okay. I got a bit of a headache. I still need to fix my sleep schedule. It's all over the place. I need self-control. Self-control. That's what I need. Oh, but we got good stuff. We got good stuff. I've got some cola. I don't have any cola. I can remedy that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and cola. Oh, can of cola. Beautiful, beautiful can of cola. Oh no, I spoke to drop it onto my cardboard. I have some cola. Oh, I don't. You don't have cola? No! Go and get some cola quick! Otherwise you're gonna die. Oh, how do you survive without cola? You don't. That's why. Oh gosh. I've been working on trying to improve. Like, I've painted some. Actually, I should go and get the models of already finished painting of this squad. Do. There we go. There we go. I'm back. I'm alive. Hi, back. We're chat. No! Because my recent model that I've painted, you know, I think I kind of impressed myself with it. Do smash! Wow, hi Sarah doing, how you doing? Wow, my bones are turning to liquid. Everything going down. I'm going to brown and fizzy, I'm turning into cold. No! I mean... Cola. Let me drink ya! Cuptle, go and get David Martin. We need to drink him. He turned into cola. But tasty. So I've painted this guy, right? And, oh yeah, if you're wondering about the cardboard, I saw someone using cardboard, one of those Lego people. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Like, I've been so upset about the fact that my little cardboard, my cutting board is just so covered in paint and stuff and it looks terrible. So I thought, you know, I can just cover it in cardboard. And then when this gets all messy, I can just replace. I did already put a dent in it though. I was also, I think that's like from a droplet of cola. I'm unsure. You still had a bot. Yay! You still got cola. That is good. That is good. So I got this guy right. And I've painted. I did relatively well painting him. The head looks really good. The face. But not just that. I mean, okay, some of these things. This arm looks great. Except this. This could be a bit better. Well, then the rest of it kind of looks nice. I did go, I think, a bit too overboard with the trying to do the wear and tear along the edges. I didn't go as overboard as other times. But it's like, yeah, this guy looks so nice. And I added like silver to the gold. And I think, you know, it grew on me. It grew on me. I'm still learning how to make it look nice. Like here, it doesn't look that good. So I've gone over to the rest of them. Oh yeah, I've also remembered I painted the base these colours on my other models. So I've been painting the bases. I need to put like a second layer along the edge. Till the next existential crisis, I'm saved. Yeah! But he got this guy, who I also decided to do the same sort of work with, adding silver to them. I think I did better with adding the silver. It's a lot more subtle. But it adds like this relatively nice effect that gives it more. I feel like it gives the gold more volume, more life. And like this guy did the same with. So with each model, I always say, and I often put into like my streams and like my little advertisements, every model is a chance to learn. It's a learning process. And I feel like with this squad, doing from basically 1 to 3, 5 models at a time, it gives me that chance to learn between each model, rather than just doing them all the exact same way. And I've been definitely improving with them. Like this is the first face we painted, and one of my first attempts at painting a dark skin face. I did go back and I've tried improving it, making the shadows darker and popping out for highlights more, which I learned from the other model. And at the back of the head, I think it looks nicer. At the front of the head, I think I need to go back over with some of the shadows. Yeah. I've just been very careful not to ruin the eye. The eye is not amazing anyway. It's got a very tiny pupil, but I think that fits this entire vibe. I think that tiny pupil. I think I also need to like get rid of some of the coloration of the skin towards where the metal is. Hi, Native Engine. So what order is this? The order of the cupcakes or the order of the cola? Oh, so this is, at the moment, they're Black Templars, and we call them the Reclaimed Blades at the moment. They're technically not Black Templars. They started as a Black Templar crusade, but by order of the Inquisition, they have become their own crusade force, and their own chapter now, called the Reclaimed Blades. And their entire thing is that they are in Imperium Nihilus, to the northeast, and they're on an eternal crusade to reclaim Archaeotech and Loster and relics and stuff. Like, that's their primary goal. After that, their next goal is to bring planets to the Imperium's light, where they either do one of 3 things. They either hand it over to the Adeptus Mechanicus. No commercials. Yay, no commercials. Aye, Blair Boris. I mean, if Fanta Cake is an actual thing, Fanta Cake exists. What the heck? Cola cupcakes exist. You can get all sorts of things in cola flavour. Yeah. We don't have a cola cupcake model though. Maybe we do need a cola cupcake model. Oh. So yeah. Also, this guy's face is really good. Like, yeah, okay, I did not zoom in very well. I think the cardboard also helps with the lighting because it's brighter. It's not just absorbing all of the light like the dark green did. Compare that though to this guy's face, who was much worse. I did go back and try and improve this guy's face. I tried redoing the eye and ended up just giving him a really thick pupil by
Looked
accident.
it up. Just choose cupcake mix and replace the water with cola.
Oh my goodness. And mate, does it have to be flat cola? But yeah, so he looks okay now. I tried doing the same of brightening the highlights, going with darker darks, darker shadows and brighter highlights. That's how I did this guy. I was like, just try and make the shadows really, really dark and the highlights quite bright. Ended up making a really nice face. And the same with
That face screams face.
this guy. I do think this face isn't too bad. It doesn't show up that well on the camera because it's really, really bright. Because I wanted to go for a more desiccated look to him. Like, you know, dying flesh. There we go. Yeah. It is not that bad. You can see it a bit better than last time I tried to show. And I did try going and darkening it a little bit. Getting rid of some of those. Strengthening the shadows on it. And you can see it looks not bad. So I've definitely been improving with each of these models. I think one of the issues with this one though is I think I put too much paint on it. So some of the detail is a bit lost. Didn't say. We love our Imperial Fist. Imperial Fist. I looked it up. Use cupcake mix. Yeah! How was the game with fire? It was fun. I was a hi that guy over there. Yeah, these guys aren't Imperial Fist for Black Templars. They do love their Imperial Fist brothers though. So those have fought alongside the Imperial Fists. You know, wear the colour on one arm and wear the emblem of a shoulder pad on one arm to, you know, honour their brothers that they once fought alongside. So yeah, we're definitely improving. So one of the things I've been doing is I've been going over some of the old models and trying to add like some of the extra silver in. Now, if you look at this guy though, he's got a few issues. So I think today what I want to do is fix some of these issues, like back here and back there. You can see where it's grey. That's where the undercoat is, because it was a dark grey undercoat. And I didn't quite get it with the black very well, for black paint. And the same goes into these joints here. You get some black paint there. Can we get a buffer with an... We could try to, I guess, because that uses the same emblem as the Imperial Fist. It's just painted. It's blue and red, isn't it? So it's blue armor and the red symbol. And red hand. I don't know, actually. I don't think the Imperial Fists have currently fought in any world that these guys would have fought on. Because they fought at the Eye of Terror campaign and they fought at in Imperium Nihilus. So I actually think the Imperial Fists are on the other side of the galaxy to them. And these guys are currently disconnected from the rest of the Imperium. Or at least they're stranded in Imperium Nihilus. They can't get back to the rest of the Imperium that easily. So yeah, I also want to do all of these bases. We need to actually paint this rock. Oh no, I did paint the rock. I gave it highlights and stuff, so that's fine. I also want to go back. I also want to put some typhus corrosion on these guys. So this one, he's got a bit of typhus corrosion, but I want to blend it a bit better. So these guys are all fine. These guys have done well with the grey bases. Oh, we do need to give them names. That's it. Like this guy's called Augustus Saget. Augustine Saget. This guy is called Stevie Steve. This guy is Saint Leonard. This one doesn't have a name. This one is called Just Jeff. This one doesn't have a name, so he needs a name too. But he got Big Dave. And we've got Roberto Dispatch. Bang Red Voltaire. Bang Red Voltaire. We could try that name, yeah. Let's get one of these Sharpies. We'll name this guy. Oh my gosh. Bang. Okay, this is very hard. Red. This is too thick. Voltaire. Okay, we'll know it. We'll know it. Bang Red Voltaire. And I'm going to use a different pen for the other ones because this is way too thick nibbed. Okay, will black show very well on the other ones? Where's my Saint? Oh, Saint. You got Jerry Berry over here. This guy's not got a name. This guy's not got a name. This guy's not got a name. This guy's Russell-Lion. Where did the Saint go? Stevie Steve. Oh, here we go. Saint Leonard. How tall are you? 6'4".
How tall are you, conjurer?
6'4". Okay, we got a fine point. Thing. Leonard, yeah, Leonard. Any other names that you want to put down? Remember, for these guys, any names are fine. Yeah. Actually, you can't really see the scale very well anymore because you don't have the centimeter squares here anymore. This is a 32mm base. Actually slightly larger because Games Workshop lies about the base sizes. They always undersell the size. And you can see I got a long hand. I don't have a wide hand. I don't have a fat hand. I just got a very long hand. That's just like... One, two, three, four, five, six.
Me still waiting for my Night Destria to ship. I believe I gotta wait a week since I think they are officially released now.
Yeah, they officially released on Saturday. My Night Destria should be coming on Monday, along with the new Night box set. My hand is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Space Marine bases long. Well, just over 6, about 6.5. So that's 180 plus 192, but for more like 33mm long. Yeah, for more like 33mm. That's about 21 centimeters is my hand, which I don't know if that in inches. Huge British lady, yeah. Hi, K-Trax. Lily. What? Lily! Oh, we can name one of them Lily. This guy could be Lily. Lily. Actually shows pretty well. That's good. Okay, so that guy's Lily. Where's the other ones? We got 2 guys here. No. That guy's named. We got 2 more names. 3 more names we need for these guys.
What about Bart?
What's the buy-in? What's the buy? Oh, Bart. Oh, yeah, you can have. We can have a Bart. I think we already had a Bartholomew, actually. I just realised. Do we have a Bartholomew here? Big Dave, Roberto Dispatch. Jerry Berry, Rosalind, Lily. Okay, we don't have a Bart here. We can have another Bart then. I'm going to call this one Barty so that we don't have too many, because I think I already got one that I named Bartholomew. But that's like in a different squad. So we got 2 more that need names. You live in the UK though? Gets it faster than me. Yeah, it depends though, because I'm not ordering directly like from the Warhammer website. I'm ordering from actually a company down south. So they're quite like on the other side of the country to me. So it does take a little while. Like they shipped it on Friday, but it takes about 4 days to get to me, so it comes arriving on Monday. My other things though, my Mechanicus stuff and the book I ordered for Eye of Terror came from a different company, and they've still not dispatched it yet, or like they've not told me if they've dispatched it. So I'm probably gonna have to wait a week. Should another be Simpson? We could have a Simpson, I guess. Wait, no, a name Sergeant Lord Talan. We can't name from Talan. There we go. Yeah, we got Leonard. We got Lily. We got Bart. Greg. We already have a Greg. I think we got a Greg Johnson somewhere. I don't think it's in this squad. Jerry Berry, Roberto Dispatch, Big Dave. Oh, I'm gonna call him Gregophy. 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 There we go. Do it. You want to name one of them? Do it. Well, okay, what about this guy? My best painted mini so far. And, you know, he's kind of boring dude. With just a chainsaw. Taylor Landor. Taylor Landor. Okay, we can name this guy Taylor Landor. Unfortunately, all the different numps in the bases get in my way. Okay, that's all of the names we have. The Fool. Cupricus, Cakerin. It's a bit late now. We've got all the names of these guys here. We still have 8 more of this squad to paint, and they're all neophytes. But oh wait. Let me show you. We got a schedule. We got a schedule today. Bonk. Schedule. Where's the schedule? Image 6. Here we go. Oh, look at this. We got knights. Yeah, so I ordered the Knight Destria, which should be arriving tomorrow before the stream. And I ordered, do you know, the new Battle Force of the Knights? So yeah, we got a bunch of streams of knights. I imagine that, you know, last time we built knights, it took like a full stream to build the knight, for Knight Defender. And the time before that also took a full stream. So I imagine to build the Knight Destria, the Knight Castellan, which we're going to build because I like the volcano cannons. And the 2 armigers, it's going to take 3 streams. If it only takes 2 streams to build all of them though, I will, on the Wednesday, will build instead a Forge World Knight. I have no idea where I'm going to put all of these knights. I don't have a room for them. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Get smashed again. A shed mule. A shed mule. Sheds! So we'll put these guys over here for now. What I want to do, I think I've got to put more shadow on his face. Now you can't actually see the areas too well where he needs a paint. Yeah, I think we'll do his face and we'll do these areas where it needs more black paint on it. Got my magnifying glass. Set fire to the cardboard. Okay, let me just check this. Okay, so yeah, I shouldn't be getting my hair on steam. Okay, even here it's actually very difficult for me to see where it's grey. It shows up much better to the camera. Although that being said, when I'm showing on the camera, there's literally a light just there on the camera. So it's shining right into those difference. But also, just like the contrast between colours is so much more obvious on camera. We'll try to improve his face. What I'm thinking I want to do, I want to go with some... Maybe like some Crestoris Night Flesh. No. Maybe some Rakear Flesh just along the edges where it meets the metal to show like desiccated flesh where it's dying. Or do where it's lost its colour because it's all scarred and damaged. I have the biggest tasty if that young fella needs a cigarette. He needs a cigarette. No, he's fine. Don't worry about it. But we'll do the... What's it called? We'll do the contrast black. Cover up those parts where it's grey and we don't want it to be grey. We're going to need a relatively thin brush that we have a lot of control over. And a relatively wet paint. More liquidy. That plasma lighting is looking super crisp. Thank you. I think... Where is he? My power sword over here I think has a better lightning. Yeah. But this one I don't think is quite as good as that side. I keep making the mistake of deciding to paint first. The side that, you know, is most visible. Like this side I don't think is as good as this side. And... this side is not as good as that side, but it's these sides. Because I paint them first, so I'm not quite in the flow of painting them well. But yeah, we just want to get into these areas, you know, here. And here. And just back there, you know, a lot more carefully from what I'm doing there. Well, I think I need to do the green here as well, because I got some white that I didn't realise. Now this guy is a character, like he's a Castellan. You think he's a chaplain with that skull thing, but no, he's a Castellan. I guess a bit better. Oh, I also want to get under that thing. Now the issue is when I actually put into a thing where it's easy for me to paint with, you know, an angle, it becomes harder to see the grey because it's no longer directly in the light. Thank you. Ugh. We're gonna try and do some of this areas. Cover up some of these greys. I don't mind the grey when it's like in an area where, you know, it's bright anyway. Like some grey over here on his collar is fine because that's where the light's going to be catching anyway. But grey where it's in a recess isn't very good. You don't want your recesses to be grey. You want them to be darker, the colours to be stronger in there. At least the darker colours anyway. But this is the issue with choosing not to undercoat it in black. Is that you're sometimes going to have these issues of just really difficult to get to areas being, well, grey. I'm using a contrast paint because it should be good at covering up the grey, but if it does get into these other areas, it's not going to completely cover up the colour. Instead, it's just going to darken it, which should be fine because it's in a recess. So for gold becoming darker, it's perfectly fine. And that's fine. What I think I might want to do now is just go over some of the damages on the model. Like places where it's been purposely painted like here. But I just think it's going a bit too extreme. I've been learning more about thinning paints and about how to do these sort of edge wear and tear and highlighting and stuff. Oh gosh, what happened to my paint here? Oh, that's an absolute mess. Yeah, that's a bit better. So we'll get some non-contrast black paint to just really strengthen these areas into, you know, nice, crisp, dark. Armor. Yeah. I don't want to completely cover up those things. Just thin it down. Because I've been experimenting more with just trying to make them thinner. And it's like, I really like how this guy turned out in the end. Make the dot blacks just those bit crisper and the edge damages just those bits thinner. I think it looks a lot nicer. So I'm not going to go back through every single old painted model, but I am just going to go over this character because he is a character. I want him to be painted nicer. And until the base, they never finish. Once a base, I want to put the brush down at that point and set and leave them to it. Even if I think I could do better, that's for future models, not this model. Because eventually, when you're just trying to correct and improve a model, all you're going to be doing is adding extra layers of paint that are just going to look bad. Yeah, let's go here. And here. A bit here. Like it's gonna just start building up on top of one another. And I am trying to go for a more grungy, grimdark look. And the funny thing is that I learned to paint in the heavy metal style originally. So I'm trying to go for a more grungy look. While kind of just painting in, well, a lot of my ways I paint is more heavy metal. Heavy metal style, not heavy metal quality. Heavy metal... The actual heavy metal artists are absolutely amazing. It's impossible for me to paint that well at the moment, but we'll do this. We'll add, I think, a bit of typhus corrosion to here. Yeah, just add some typhus corrosion. Typhus corrosion has been one of my favourite paints that I've gotten so far. You know what, I'll get a different brush out because that's just going to damage this brush. Like just for adding extra bits of just dirt and wear and tear and damages. Because I think that's also one of the things that on the more recent painted models I've done is I've just gone over some of the edges of typhus corrosion, and it's a very subtle effect on black. But I do think it adds quite a bit of just extra detail to them. Also put onto like some of the white, just makes them look dirtier. Just got here, did I miss anything? Hi, Ella Corona. No, we've just been going over the old models. We named some models. Like this guy is now named Taylor Landor. And this one is called Gregathy. And we got Barty somewhere over here. Oh, wait. Bang Red Voltaire. And... no, that's Big Dave. Roberto Dispatch. Howie, Barty is over here. But we've just been going over this guy, correcting some mistakes and just improving him. Yeah, so I've got an old brush here. But you can see it's just an absolute mess. And I like to use this just to do some of the rough work. No longer good at dry brushing, but it's good at just adding these extra bits of wear and tear to it. And for when you want to use just more heavy paint, like when basing a model. Yeah, typhus corrosion is just amazing with this wear and tear. You worked on your Night Ruinator? Ooh, nice. I hope it's looking adequately ruinatory. Adequately ruined. If we go a bit too much onto a model, you can always just smudge it around with your finger. Attack native engine. No, don't attack yourself. Yeah. Oh, so nice. There we go. What I want to go is over these old models just with some typhus corrosion. And then what I want to do, I just want to get some sandy dust and just do the basis. That's the colour I'd use of a basis, by the way, sandy dust. Very nice colour. And for the dirt. It's the same sort of colour as Armageddon dust, it's just not a technical paint like Armageddon is. Get onto the feet and stuff. The little feeties. And yeah, you need it on your... Did Cupcom paint those towel models she built one time? No, I've not painted any of my towel yet. They're not even undercoated. The next models I want to paint, but I only got half undercoated because I ran out of the undercoat paint, was the neck ones. I might do the arcs next, but I've still got 13 of these undercoated Black Templar models I wanted to do. Yes, 13 of them. I've got 8 of the Neophytes on this squad. And I've got... What else is there? I put missile pods on the end of the Aberrant tail, and I used and put War Dog's head where the missiles normally go. That sounds cool. Yeah, I've got 8 Neophytes of this squad, and then I got 5 Desolator Marines that I want to use that support this squad. Once they're painted, I want to get some arc work done because I undercoated some arcs the other day. How many did I undercoat? A load of arcs. I can tell you that much. Now I've got like 10 arcs undercoated, 2 Death Dreads and 3 Killer Cans, so I want to get onto them next. Potentially, or I might just do the neck ones. I want something simple, and the arcs are not simple. So I might just do the neck ones next. I just need to find the time, which I hoped I could do it this Thursday, just didn't have the time. To just finish undercoating them. Because I got another spray can now to finish the undercoat. Because I think it's mostly just going to be dry brushing on them. And I think I can do that. So yeah, I just add some just dry across these things. Just add bits of dirt to the edges of the model. Get a bit onto the white here. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, grungy. Oh, grungy and filthy. Yeah. Okay, that's finished. Popcorns and painted towel don't follow for great to good. They follow for grey to good. Oh my goodness. You've also made 2... I thought you said you made 2 bananas for it. 2 bananas! It's got 2 custodies. Yeah, you got some banners for it. No, not bananas. You got some bananas. It sounds cool. I've been trying to look for a game, a computer game that has knights in it. I found a mobile game, and I found a computer game that stopped being sold because the company no longer has the Warhammer license. I was like, no, should have got it a few years ago. Back when they still had the Warhammer license and it was up for sale. And it's it was an Adeptus Titanicus game that had warlords, knights, and stuff in. Seemed pretty cool. I'll just get onto here. I'm not sure what colour I want to do my Taufo. I've been thinking maybe make them polar coloured, like, do you know, black, grey and white. I thought that could be cool, like give them all camo schemes based on them being like in a North Pole of a planet or something. Join the Farsight. No, I'm not going to do Farsight. The idea is they are part of the normal enclave, not a normal enclaves. They're part of, you know, the normal cast of Tau, or groups of Tau, and a portal opened within Tau space. And
have you done cosplay, Conjurer?
Have you done? I have done cosplay before. Characters I've cosplayed have been France from Italia. Who else did I cosplay? Yui from Angel Beats. I was a very tall Yui. Panty from Panty and Stocking. I've cosplayed her twice. What's the name? Umaru from Umaru. The other cola-loving character from that one anime. Yeah, I kind of guess that I cosplayed her. Hello! Night Parade. I know Dawn of War 3 has knights in it. Inquisitor March, you can control one on a couple of levels. Ooh. Yeah, I was looking for mostly just a night-themed game because I thought it would be fun to, you know, since I'm going to be building knights this week, maybe have play a game where you can play as a knight, like, you know, predominantly. Because I probably wouldn't go very far into it just for one stream. Italia, I haven't heard of that in a long time. Truly an unk. What else is there? Did I for Black Butler, do you know the Black Butler anime? What's his name? Ash? And he also has a female form. Yeah, I cosplayed them. Also, my best friend cosplayed Kirisu from Steins Gate, so I cosplayed, what is he called? The dude from Steins Gate. Often if I want to do a joint cosplay with somebody, I end up having to play for much taller dude in it. Who else have I cosplayed? Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds. The character I always forget her name off. It begins with an A. And she has a Black Rose Dragon, my favourite dragon. I've got a massive model of Black Rose Dragon, official model. It's like the size of a small Titan. Like Warhound Titan scale. It's insane. I cosplayed her. And when I cosplayed her, I got followed around a lot. Like, I walked through the city and just random people kept following me. It was kind of scary. Went to a convention. Walked back. So yeah, I've cosplayed. Black Bullet was a pretty wild show. I was too young when I watched it. Oh.
Following you? Like creepy intentions?
Yeah, basically. Because I could hear some of what they said. It wasn't very nice stuff. I say it wasn't very nice stuff. It was scary stuff, they said. And catcalling and stuff. Surprisingly, cosplaying, what's it called? Hi, Anthony! The cutting board has an upgrade. Yeah, it's got it's now got a cardboard protector on it that I can replace. Because, you know, I'm painting on it. And the cutting board was becoming, you know, just a mess. Also, I found that having this, because it's like brighter but not super bright, it's really nice trying to get the colour balance to work with it. Oh, that's what I want to do. I want to do his face. Yeah. Oh, no, it's fine. I've had to that a few times before. One of the worst times I actually had for that was when I went into the city once when I was a teenager and I was wearing a Batman t-shirt. So it's just a t-shirt with, you know, the spat symbol on it and stuff. And I kept just getting random guys going up to me and being like, hey, so I heard you like, see you like Batman. It's like, yeah. Yeah. That was scary. I mean, that was partly scary because people are trying to talk to me and I've got social anxiety.
Who is this imposter? This isn't Cupcon. Where is the green pad and spilled paint marks?
Well, we got spilled paint marks already. Oh, that's spilled cola. That's spilled paint water. And that's why I accidentally crushed it when I was just going like this with this thing. Like, it fits perfectly in the gap. It's my knife. You know, I'm so good at stabbing. I can stab with a knife even when it's got its cover on. Stab. Yeah. But let's go into... Yeah, I've not cosplayed in years. Or at least I've not done like any proper cosplays. I kind of semi-do for Umaru cosplay quite often just because I like red. And, you know, I just put my red jacket on with the... Actually, yeah, and especially like in for warmth, I sometimes just put the shorts I got for that cosplays, which were just some brown booty shorts. For black sports t-shirt and a red shirt from it. For red, not red shirt, for red jacket. And so it's a Umaru cosplay. Oh, it's when she... No, it's Uaru. You know, for URA, where she plays, where she's a gamer. And she enters competitions. Okay, I want to get some Raycar flesh, I think, just along this joint, along the edges, and just, like, leaf it in. Umaru's accidentally. I mean, considering how much cola I drink, maybe I'm just actually turning into a real-life version of her. I really like how this guy turned out. Now you can actually see him properly, and it's not just going to be... Yeah, this guy turned out pretty well. I mean, his eye's not amazing, but have you seen how hard it is to get a brush into here? With that arm and that shield in the way. It's hell. So I think I did his eye pretty well, all considered. This is the issue of when you decide to paint a model after building it. But yeah, see, this is like the way it's half robot face. So, you know, I want it feeling all dead. Like, do you know how you might paint a tech marine flash? Although you probably go for blue as a tech marine because, you know, to show the electricity. Oh, I actually just realised it. Oh no, it's chin's metal. Yeah, that's why. It's chin's metal. Sometimes
So when you go off stream you turn into a tiny chibi version of yourself. So the goober mode is a self-portrait?
Yeah! Oh my gosh, I wish sometimes I could go chibi. It's like, it's the other days that I've been playing, you know, Warhammer against myself just for fun. It's been playing Floorhammer. It's like, oh, if only I was a bit tinier and, you know, it'll be easier to do this. Trying to find space for myself in the Floorhammer is difficult. Also, I still don't know how to use... Oh, do you want to see the custodies? I'll show you the custodies, because I didn't finish building them all on stream. I finished them off stream.
So what I'm getting is you're still easy on the eyes.
Here we go. Floorhammer while tall is great. When you need to go to the other side, you just get to lay to the other side. No, but that's the thing. It's my bedroom floor's not big enough to do that. Like, it's 60. So what it is, it's like, I'll use these things to represent. So let's say this is where my desk is. So we got a desk here. It's an L-shaped desk in the corner. My door is where this paint pot is. My chair is where this paint pot is, and it doesn't go fully under the desk because of the keyboard thing. Then I've got filing cabinet and display cabinets over here. And then I've got a bunch of Warhammer boxes in front of it. Then I've got my bed over here. And this is the only space I've got for the floor hammer. Oh, and I've got a cupboard here. So this is a space of a floor
L-shaped
hammer.
desk. How very competitive.
I can move that to out the side. Competitive. I sometimes bed. I did think about putting it on my bed, but decided against it because I just like throw everything on my bed when I'm, you know, not sleeping in it. So I move those boxes out the way, but the display case is still here. I can't move my chair anywhere. So then instead the Warhammer gets played in this space here, and it goes taking up most of this space. I don't have room to lie there. I can't do it this direction with this, like, it's 60 inches by 48 inches. But this, if it's 60 inches, if it does 60 inches, the chair gets in the way. So instead it goes this way, and then I have to sit here. But now being tall is great because I can just reach over. Like my arm is long enough to reach across the entire thing. Standing here, or sitting here, I can just reach there. The only issue was I decided to put a tall tower here, and obviously my hair kept catching it every time I went over. So yeah. The Joy-Time Peel bites are big enough to hug to sleep. They are. They're big enough to play with Titans. They're big enough to play as Warlord Titans, which is hilarious. But oh yeah, here's the Custodies with sword. They're a lot easier to put together, and they got sturdier connections than if you are trying to build the spear version. That's partly because you don't have the two arms trying to glue together to one another across a long stick, meaning that you can just put them together way easier. Although this arm did end up lower for some reason. It was really hard to just not make it too low. Oh, darn it, that broke off. This hand was actually really hard to figure out how to attach. Like, I knew that it was meant to be like this. It was just difficult to try and get the connection where the fingers, you know, all join one another properly. So you can see there's a bit too much glue there. I had to keep re-gluing it. Every time I hear Custodies now, I get that picture of a custody telling a lunch lady to oil me up, woman. Oh, Groundskeeper Willie doing that. Grease me up. Custodies are super hard to play though. At least my custodians are. I'm still trying to figure them out. I've realised that Sentinel Blades, while they're super tough because they got 4 wounds each, 2+ armor save, 4+ invulnerable save, they don't really have the killing potential unless you're fighting something like Gaunts or Guardsmen or maybe even Arcs. But when you're fighting Marines, they don't have the same killing potential because they only damage 1. So even if, like, you're fighting a squad that has, like, 0 AP, it's really hard to get rid of them.
I've always wondered why Groundskeeper Willie didn't get more dates.
Because he's crazy. Evil rips off hair of a banana man. I didn't. What's this? Is this a banana man or a banana woman? It's a banana woman. But yeah, I've actually separated them into 2 squads. One squad where they're just like with this. They just stood at ease, basically. I like this one. Yeah, so they're all just like stood at ease. They're not even trying to fight or anything. And then for other one where they're like, come at me! I'm challenging you! I'm gonna block your attack! I'm gonna stab you and block your attack at the same time. Yeah. Hi, Douglas. No, Guardian Spears are damage 2. Sentinel Swords are damage 1. And that's the issue, is that, like, these guys, super tough. 4 wounds thanks to the shield. But they're not super killy. So while you can use them to, like, hold a front line, trying to fight something like Marines, Orc Knobs, or whatever, you're going to find that you're going to struggle killing them, especially if they decide to Armor of Contempt you. You do get the cool thing of being able to shoot into combat with these being a pistol, and you can advance and shoot because you got assault, with only a 12-inch range. So that means that you're not going to be able to thin out for hard until they get close to you. Then when you are in melee, you're hitting on 2s, you're only wounding on 4s with a gun, and they still get, it's only AP -1, so it's very hard to, like, get rid of, like, many opponents, especially again if they're Armor Contempting you or something like that. So yeah, and then I realised that's what I did when I played, is that I played, what's it called, the supply lines one, using one of the new terrain layouts. And so you got big terrain piece in the center, objective in the middle of it, small terrain piece over here with an objective on this side of it, and a small terrain piece over here with an objective this side of it. And what I did is I pushed up this 1 shield unit this side, 1 shield unit this side, and the Dreadnought straight onto the center objective. And while I had my spears, because they're more fragile, in reserve to deep strike. And then I had my tank over here. But the issue with that is that none of these squads were strong enough to be able to hold any of the flanks by themselves. Because, you know, the opponent could always just put more... Well, I say the opponent. My Templars, or whatever, could always put more squads against them. Basically, always able to outcompete.
What would your burger combo order be, Conjurer?
My burger combo, cheeseburger. Double cheeseburger with fries. That's what I always order. Without any onions or anything on it, because that would be evil. Those are swords and they are swords and shields, yeah. So for Dreadnought, super killy, easily killy enough to be able to hold an objective. But the issue is, it's not super durable. Like, it's only toughness 9. It does have a 2+ armor save, but my Dreadnought's not the one for shield. So it only has a 5+ invulnerable save. And it only has 10 wounds. And that meant it was actually quite easy to get rid of. And as well, I thought my Phobos Marines wouldn't be able to deal with it well, because at the start they had their Storm Speeder in reserve. The only anti-tank they had were 2 missile launchers. But what I found is that it didn't really matter too much, because what I did when I played my Phobos, I was like, oh, I could try something here. So I had my Incursor squad shoot at the Dreadnought, and they hit it. They did absolutely no damage, obviously. But they hit it, meaning everyone else was at +1 to hit it now. So my scouts moved, got +1 to hit, used a stratagem that gives them +1 ballistic skill. So they're now hitting on 2s with their missile launchers, even though they move. They wound on 4s because of strength 9 against toughness 9. And they're at AP -3, putting it down to 5+ save. It was in cover, so it got backed up to a 4+ save, but you're getting 2 shots in at that point. And down to a 4+ save despite being in cover. And as a result, some good damage came in, and then my snipers got lucky with a devastating wound against it. That's like the only damage they did in the entire game, by the way. I did manage to roll 2 devastating wounds against a 1 squad, but they passed all 5 feel no pain saves on their captain. So it's like, okay, yeah, that was useless. I remember Custodies guards are pretty decent objective holders. Yeah, these are Custody guards, but the issue is like the squads of 4. So, and while I had a banner, that's still only 12 objective points compared to a squad that can just put down like 10 dudes. Well, 11 dudes for character in them. At 2 or 1 OC each, well, either way. But But one of the things I found is that, like, once I tried catching these flank objectives, because there wasn't much cover there, as soon as they just, like, outmaneuvered and surrounded me, which the Phobos were really good at doing, considering how much they can just move, shoot, move again. It's like, oh, I'm going to charge you. And then there's literally a stratagem for the Phobos Marines. It goes, oh, you're going to charge me. I'm just going to move 6 inches. It's like, oh, that doesn't help. So it's just really hard to fight against my own Phobos Marines. And while they barely had any AP anywhere across the map, it's like ultimately just chip damage just took out my guys. And also just that one stratagem that gives them an extra AP, putting the Custodes down to just 3+ armor save was really, really big. Especially like one of the squads, it had 10 dudes in shooting. I kept forgetting those dudes had feel no pain. I never took feel no pain saves for them. Chip damage is the best way to kill Custodes, yeah, but they got 22 attacks in. 2 of those attacks are damage too. And I could just use that strat to get +1 to hit and improve the AP by 1. Putting these guys down to 3+ armor saves because there's not much cover around the objective. Well, I would say not much. They could easily get into a position where you're just denying any cover save. Because the only terrain isn't ones you could stand in. You could just stand around it. And yeah, the squad started taking big damage. And then when the Incursor squad came in and the Lieutenant just charged in, with their AP -1 weapons and sustained hits, they just started dropping. Although, that being said, the final one of the squad on this flank died to just 2+ armor saves. Like, that was just the thing that finally just took them out, just having to take 12 of them. Oh yeah, because for the lieutenants in the squad, roll of a 6 to wound is, you know, an art to wound. And... oh yeah, and for Black Templar in combat, they're getting +1 to wound you, because your toughness 6, they're only strength 4, +1 to wound for wounded and force now. Which really was big. I also made a stupid mistake of... I dropped down some spear Custodes at the back line to take out... so objective is here. Objective is here. Scout squad is somewhere up here. Custodes sentinels drop around here. 9 inches away from the scouts. I made the mistake of shooting the scouts first. And the arm of contented up, they suffered 4 casualties. And then I couldn't charge them anymore. I rolled 9-inch charge from my original charge roll. And I tried re-rolling it and got 7. It's like, oh, if I didn't shoot, I could have just gotten in and charged them. That being said, I could have... no, I couldn't have done it because I spent my command point arm of contempting, so I couldn't have just run away. Anti-infantry plus devastating wounds kind of kill Custodes pretty well. Yeah, I don't have any anti-infantry weapon in my Phobos Marine army. The Invicta Warsuit was ridiculous though. Didn't do a lot with its shooting. In fact, don't think it did any damage with its shooting. Oh no, I think it killed 1 Custode. It managed... a Custode was already down to 1 wound with its shooting. But in melee, it wrecked house. It finished off the Custode Dreadnought, getting a bunch of successful wounds against it, and it failed 2. Which it only needed 1 to go through to kill it. And then it took down all but, I think, 4 wounds from a... oh no, it didn't take all but 4 wounds. Because it took a bunch of damage from the Storm Speed of Thunderstrike from the Graph Tank. Then it took the Graph Tank down to 4 wounds. And then the Graph Tank tried, what's it called, falling back, and immediately got over. I decided to use my Storm Speeder to overwatch it and got a 6 to wound it and managed to destroy it. Destroy the tank as it tried to fall back. But then the Storm Speeder for Custodes also managed to get a 6 to hit overwatch as my Invicta wanted to charge the last squad with the spears, with the shield captain in. And the Invicta moved to go and, you know, be in a good position to charge. So I decided, you know what, I'm overwatching it. Rolled a 6 to hit with a melter gun. wounds, kills it, one shot. It's like, no, the warsuit's dead. The shield captain single-handedly destroyed the storm speeder, killed the infector warsuit, and then took like 2 turns of firing from everybody. Also saved 5 mortal wounds. The shield captain was MVP for the custodians. But yeah, it just teaches you, if you do want to charge somebody after deep striking, don't shoot the enemy that you want to deep strike, because all they're going to do is remove casualties from the squad that are, you know, facing your squad that just deep struck. And then your 9-inch deep strike becomes a 10 or 11-inch deep strike. No charge, I mean. It's like, no! Why was I so silly? But then I made the mistake of, you know, I was doing tactical mission objectives and I pulled the assassination objective. So it's like, I could go and try taking this objective, or I could try to assassinate the captain that's over here with some eliminators. Except I just couldn't catch him. Because, you know, they have the ability to shoot and move. Oh... They could move, shoot, move again. It's like, oh, I literally won't be able to ever catch them. And then if I do try charging them, they can just do the stratagem to just get another 6-inch move away from me. It's like, yeah, that's infuriating. And then you're at -1 to hit because they have stealth. Which I did keep forgetting about anyway, so my entire army should have always just been -1 to hit most of the time, and I just never did that. So, yeah. I also forgot to feel no pain on one of the squads that they just have by default. So, while I'm still learning Custodes, I also need to remember what my Phobos Marines can actually do. But yeah, I didn't expect the Phobos Marines to win at all. Well, I expected them to potentially win at objectives, but I didn't expect them to actually table the enemy. Because they just, like, most of their weapons are just AP 0. And it's not like you can just give, like, one of the squads a power fist or, like, a plasma gun or something. No, you just got a squad. It's got what it's got. They've all just got standard bolt guns, basically. Death Shrouds with 6 in deep strikes has no such silly weakness. Oh, can you do a 6-inch deep strike and still charge? Because most things that can do a 6-inch deep strike can't charge. But yeah, I did forget one thing for my custodians though, and it's that they have a stratagem that puts your opponent at -1 to hit, and I forgot completely about that stratagem. And I kept, like, every time I was going through the stratagems, just somehow kept overlooking it every single time it got to the melee phase. Oh, they 6-inch to anyone who's afflicted, and they can still... Ooh, that sounds fun. But okay, I want Vakar Flesh now, because that's one of the darker flesh tones. And I might go... Right, it's one of the more darker, desiccated flesh tones. But yeah... That was a fun game that I had, which is why I keep talking about it. The other game I had, the Custodes got tabled in turn 2 because I just massively overestimated them. One of the things I'm thinking about with Custodes now is that rather than trying to, like, spread the entire army out so I take on each flank and for, like, every objective at once, instead I just focus on, like, one flank and just go with overwhelming force into one flank, because that's the issue was there is that the enemy could just constantly outmaneuver me and outnumbered me. So there wasn't much I could do about them. But instead, if I put all my force onto one flank, I could just absolutely destroy them there, capture the objectives, and then just move around to the next flank. And then use the deep striking custodians to gain overwhelming force to counter anything that they're doing on the other side. Because the shield captain is absolutely insane. There's literally not much that can fight a custodian shield captain. Death Guard be like, I heard you like
Death Guard be like, I heard you like diseases. You don't like diseases? We can release you from your diseases. Activates Power Scythe.
No, don't do that. Lion of the Emperor wants the opponent to surround and outnumber you. Yeah, I don't think that would have helped me very much, though. I did once again try going for the shield host. But I don't think the lion one would have helped me very much, if I'm entirely honest with you. It would have helped a little bit in some regards, but it's like the shield host gives you protection from mortal wounds, and if I didn't have that protection from mortal wounds, like with one of the stratagems, I don't think the lions has that stratagem. I think I would have just lost pretty much immediately. I would have lost my shield captain to devastating wounds. I think there's another devastating wound I got earlier that I just absolutely just rode pretty much all but the very first devastating wound I suffered. Every time I use a stratagem, I just passed every single mortal wound save. And if I couldn't have done that, then I would have suffered a lot more, because like my sniper squad was just doing nothing. It was just being a minor nuisance after the first turn. The other thing is the 5+, being able to crit on a 5+ to hit was also pretty absolutely insane, if I'm entirely honest. I still might never be able to fight Gorgon v Custodes for Endless Horde v the finest melee combatants. Our battle would be legendary. You could always ask to play like 9th edition or whatever against somebody. Hydra. I killed a blade champion with my rhino that had a combi weapon. That makes sense. I mean, in theory, combi weapons would actually be very good against Custodes. Just, you know, fire a supernova at them with your plasma gun underside to it. Or melter gun underside. But yeah, because those are the things that I think would have really, I say really saved me. Those are the things that were working hardest for me. To actually be able to beat anybody, like getting all those extra sustained hits or the extra lethal hits, like just one turn killing a storm speeder was partly because I could just roll a bunch of lethals on it. Where's my skeleton horde? That's Gorgon. One of these is going to be Scaritus. I really like skeleton hardcore. Getting this dead skin and stuff. So one of my favourite things that I did though to like one of the reasons why I tried going after the assassination target is because I still had 2 custodians on full wounds fighting my Reavers. And for 4 Reavers left, and for 2 Custodians, the Sentinel Blades, I'm like, well, they have that. Between the shooting phase and melee phase and maybe the opponent's next turn, those Reavers are going to be dead. The Reavers weren't dead. I almost tempted them to survive. So they only actually took 1 casualty and 1 wound between them over for shooting and whatever. And the melee. But then I just immediately fell back. And I couldn't do a fall back and shoot them. Or, fall back and charge them. But I could just fall back and just let everybody else shoot them and charge them. It's like, okay, so yeah, I don't hold that flank. But I've got some scouts over there with some snipers and some missile launchers and Invicta Warsuit coming in. Yeah, okay, never mind. I didn't really think about that, how I could do that. I do miss the stances for Custodians in 9th, were like 5 stances with each with 2 subdivisions. You picked 3 and could swap between them. That sounds fun. This sounds a bit overcomplicated though. I do kind of just like the 2 stances you have now, and you can just use a detachment to strengthen the stances and how they work. Yeah, Custodians are very... I'm learning from it. I might try just going for Alliance of the Emperor and see how it holds up. Be compared to Shield Host. Yeah, Shield Captains can do a hell of a lot of damage. Because I go for upgrade on my Shield Captain for that gives it, I think it's +1 strength and +1 damage. Is this? No, I think the stances now are just get sustained or just get lethals. Let me check. New recruit. Custodies. So we got the Marshal Qatar. They can go into the Doctrine stance. Melee weapons have sustained hits, or they can go into the Rendak stance, where melee weapons have lethal hits. So you can either choose sustained hits into anything in melee, or lethal hits into anything in melee. And if you go for the Shield Host, then at the start of the turn, you can choose to either go and have the... You can either choose at the start of each turn to have an unmodified attack roll of a 5+ scoring a critical hit, or improve the armor penetration of your melee weapons by 1. Yeah. So I think that's really cool. I do like it. It's relatively simple, but by combining it with the detachments and stuff, you can make them like... You can either go into like a super stance or whatever. Let me go. See, you got your stances here. Each unit can choose a stance when it's selected to fight. You can either do this stance to get sustained hits, or this stance or lethal hit. And this is why I like the Shield Host. Well, we got the Shield Host for multiple reasons. You got a load of cool stratagems. Like, you can charge at the same turn you fell back, which is amazing. And shoot. You can permanently control an objective, which I really like. I say permanently. You can get sticky and objective. You can get lethals or sustained when you're shooting. You can get feel no pain against mortal wounds, which is amazing. And definitely needed when you're facing, like, your biggest weapon as a custody is often, like, your biggest enemy, sorry, is devastating wounds or mortal wounds. Then you got this one, which actually came in real handy, in which when you're taking more damage, you increase your attacks by up to 2. So that's pretty cool. And then you got Unwavering Sentinels. This is the one I kept forgetting about, where you can subtract 1 from the enemy to hit. Which could have saved me, but honestly, probably not. The main issue I was facing when the enemy hit me is that they were hitting me with lethal hits. And just with the sheer volume of hits, I just couldn't stand it. Make resistance silence kind of silly with V+, against mortals and psychic attacks. Yeah, I guess so. I guess this wouldn't be very useful against them then, because it's just a 4+. Oh, this doesn't include your side cannon models. So... yeah, and Anthema. How do they work again? You got your Vigilators. 3+ against psychic attacks and mortal wounds. Yeah, no, it's just, yeah, the innate ability. So yeah, the custodians are pretty powerful. Although these, what's it called that I like for this guy is, yeah, the Pyrite Spear. 7 attacks, hits and 2, strength 8, AP -2, damage 3. And its shooting is just Meltagun. Yeah, my shield captain was insane with that spear. I just can't get over losing my Invicta Warsuit to just random Overwatch. Like, I gotta move my Invicta Warsuit and just get ready to wipe out this squad. It's like, nope, roll for 6 to hit. Yeah, your Invicta Warsuit's dead. No, it had killed a Custody Dreadnought. It had smashed up the Graph Tank. I had tanked 2 turns of firing for the Graph Tank as well. I was like, oh, it did so well. Even when everything else was just failing, it was just holding the line. And then just unceremoniously just killed by the shield captain, who just had enough of its... It really just felt like the shield captain just dropped down and went, yeah, I've had enough of your silly shenanigans. Sitting here with Kroot embracing Moon Knight, random boop go. Yeah. Kroot are very, very difficult to play at the moment. But they need to have some of their bigger units. They need a really good melee character. And they need like a... They need to get the Greater Narlock out. The Greater Narlock with like an anti-tank weapon and just like really good stats would be amazing for the Kroot. Okay, how does this look? I've tried using some Raycar Flesh and Skeleton Hard on him. Come on. There we go. How does his face look now? Okay, his flesh there does look like it's dying too close to where the metal is now. The shadows are a bit darker, but I think I can make those shadows dark, and I think I need to make the shadows darker. So what do you think would be a good colour for that? I was trying to use Raikkonen Flesh Shade. Looking good in my opinion. Thank you. I'm trying to improve it. I want to get it to the same level that this face is painted at, if I'm entirely honest. Which I don't think I can do. I think I made a minor miracle happen when I painted this face. Like, I don't know how I did this. I didn't even realise I painted the pupils kind of okay-ish. Until I was looking at it. I think maybe some Agrex Earthshade might be good at it, because I do want him to be like... I tried some more Viking Flesh Shade, actually. I was trying that before, but maybe I didn't use enough. There we go. No, it's Government Flesh. Viking Flesh Shade. I just got to be careful not to accidentally cover its eye up, because I do not want to go through the hell of painting the eye again. So just get under the cheek, just make that nice and dark, make the dark, and then just get into the corner of the eye and under the eye. Yeah. Oh, and just around there. Oh, that's some nice. That's nice. Viking Flesh Shade, amazing. Fix all of my mistakes and errors, please. Rule of thumb I use is how it looks at 2 feet away. So long as it looks good on the tabletop, everything else is gravy and personal growth. Yeah, for these ones, the normal infantry, that's how I kind of feel. I do view each model as an attempt to learn and improve, which is, we're actually being really massive with this squad. Because been painting them kind of 1 or 3 at a time. And it's been like the amount of improvement I've just seen across these guys is impressive. But he was like the first one I painted off the squad. And I kind of regret making him the first one I painted off the squad now. Because he improved a lot since painting him. But he's more of a centerpiece model. And it's a kind of one where people look at it and go, oh, that's a bit silly. And they want to look close at it. So I want him to look good if you pick him up and decide to have a good look at him. I think for the most part he kind of is, like the back here is kind of eye-catching, so is that shoulder pad. And so is the face. I guess that's looking a lot better with that extra shadow on it now. Yeah. Still not amazing. Maybe I need to get some desiccated flesh around those nubbins there. I thought they would servos, their surface stubbed up first, but maybe not. Yeah, I think that looks a lot better now. I'm happy with that. I still think about that one song from Moon Knight show. I do not know what song you're thinking of. I did watch a Moon Knight show, but it was a while ago. All I remember from the Moon Knight show is that was a hippo woman. And that's literally all I need to remember about it. Was a hippo woman, was a bird man, was kind of a skeleton who might have not been real. Oh yeah, and for some reason they decided to just have end of the world stakes in it, which they really didn't need, and it went kind of Indiana Jones at one point. I'm not really a big fan of the TV shows deciding to just randomly go end of the world stakes. I think a lot of the TV shows would be much better if they just kept the stakes more grounded. So I just randomly went onto a tangent then, you know, about the TV shows. Well, that was my biggest issue with, like, actually, it's not my biggest issue, but it was one of my issues with Miss Marvel. I was like, oh, I was actually looking so forward to Miss Marvel, especially after the first episode. I was like, yes, this is good. This feels like it was made for me. And then episode 2 comes on, it's like, okay. And episode 3, it's just like, no, never mind. I hate it now. Thanks for doing this to me. Thanks for doing this to me. Why? Sorry, I got distracted then. But which song is it? Song from Moon Knight. Oh, is it for one song that Dino kind of plays when he goes crazy? I do know even body switches. Did you know that Random Beep Go isn't even an actual Moon Knight panel? It's, I mean, if a panel is a Moon Knight panel, but the actual comment, like, it's just edited for text. He never said that. There's actually quite a few things like that where he never actually said that. But the memes are still funny. And you know, memes influence comic book writers sometimes. Sometimes we go the exact opposite way, mind you. Man Without Love by a guy I can't spell the name. Man Without Love. Now I need to, like, Google that. Also, what's all these notifications I'm getting? Emails. An update on my order. Oh, yeah! I'm getting more gloves. I'm getting more gloves. So, do you know these gloves I wear? Not the black ones, the pink ones. These sleeve gloves. Yeah, I'm running out of these gloves because look at them. For now, all of these gloves at the moment are basically ones I can use for painting because, you know, they're threadbare, they're falling to pieces. It's been hard to find any more of them without spending like 30 quid on a single set of gloves that are like 50 pence of materials and like 2 quid's worth of work. So I've ordered. I managed to find on eBay someone who was still selling these types of gloves. I mean, you can get knitted ones and like woolen versions, but wool makes my skin itchy and it gives me eczema. The entire point of these gloves is to not get eczema. At least like mine that I wear. Use kitchen gloves. No, not these gloves. These gloves. These gloves. These gloves I can buy. I just buy them in bulk from a medical website. It's like when I buy my magnets, I actually buy them from a website that Dino Supplies Labs. Where are my magnets? I had a set of magnets here. There they are. These magnets. I buy them from a website that supplies that. I think I need to get some more that are bigger than these ones. Same thickness, but you know, just wider. Because those ones are great for certain things, but I need some stronger magnets for like vehicles and stuff. Yeah, I just want to paint for base. Either way, in tournaments, are you required to have like a black rimmed base? Or can you have your base whatever colour you want to paint it? Because I swear I heard someone say that you had to have a black rimmed base, but I don't like the black rimmed base. I like the coloured round base. Yeah, also, I don't want the gloves to be super warm. I just like the gloves to be nice and cool and allow for airflow. There we go. I'm still waiting for my hobby workshop order. Oh my goodness, no. What's hobby work? No, what's it called? My Mechanicus, because I ordered fully good. The new Hayota, yes. How you doing? The axe of the school shoulder, I love it. Thank you. The axe is on the Saturnine kit, the Saturnine Captain kit. And the school shoulders are from the Castellan, Black Templar Castellan. In fact, the entire body is from the Black Templar Castellan. It's just the axe that's different than the head, which is from the Tech Priest. Oh, the backpack is actually from Mark III armor. Horus Heresy. I'm thinking I need to buy some more Horus Heresy, stuff and convert more of my models. Because the entire point is that they called the Reclaimed Blades my army. And the entire thing is that they're reclaiming Archaeotech and Gnost technology. So it would just be more fun to have, like, their armor modified with this more ancient tech and relics and stuff. Which means that maybe I should just have every single army using the Gladius detachment. Considering how hard it can be to get full WYSIWYG and have 3 distinct non-primer colours, most FOGs are happy if it's all painted. Nice. Although the full WYSIWYG isn't even a thing right now, or like a thing that's enforced too much at the moment. Just because of the way that the current rules are. And that they do sell some units that do have, like, weapon options that just, like, the kill teams. Some of them just have weapon options and equipment options that just aren't actually playable. So I've already get, like, some squads where they've got, like, the kill team options for them, but they just don't actually sell for kill teams. Like the Tau Pathfinders have the grenade launcher option. And that's included with the points of a squad, that you can give them a grenade launcher. But if you buy some Tau Pathfinders, you can't actually get the grenade launcher on them. You can only get them if you buy the Battle Force. So a lot of places won't enforce, like, full WYSIWYG as long as it's close enough. Or as long as it's consistent across your game. So for instance, if you got 2 units of eliminators that are Vanguard eliminators, so if they've all got snipers, and you say you want to use them as last few seals, some will allow you to use them as last few seals. But you got 2 squads of eliminators, both are modelled with both snipers. You have to use both either as last few seals or both as both snipers. You can't just have one be one and the other. It has to be consistent across. I've done my grocery. You're doing great for golds and prawns. Look great. Thank you. I've been trying to improve the bronzes and golds on the models. I did go back on this guy and add some silver to it to give it some more life, I feel like. Make it look a bit less flat. And I think that helped. I'm still trying to figure out how I need to paint that. And the combat patrol has an upgrade. It does have an upgraded Pathfinder sprue, but let's say you only buy 1 combat patrol and you buy 1 Pathfinder squad, then 1 squad can have a grenade launcher, the other can't. But most places, even official tournaments, will be like, yeah, you can just say your sergeant of both squads has a grenade thing. Or let's say if you have you can give one of the Pathfinders a grenade arm, as in like an arm that's just holding a grenade in its hand, and if you just say that's the grenade launcher, most places will be like, yeah, that's fine, including tournaments. Similarly, if you've got some intercessors with grenade launchers, but you bought one of the intercessor packs that doesn't have a grenade launcher, like you bought one of the starter sets that has intercessors in, but the intercessors didn't come with grenade launchers like I did, then if you just give one of them like a grenade, an arm that looks like he's about to throw a grenade or something, most of them will be fine to say, yeah, that guy's a grenade launcher. My dudes are after 30 years look worse than they did in the 90s. Oh no. But the painted army is great. How well is secondary? Oh. Yeah. Do. I'm trying to paint my army as well as I can, because part of my army painting is just, well, I mean, to test myself, and also to these, I hate these things. Because this is, you know, it's not a transfer or anything, it's an debossed, sorry, so this circle here sticks out, and so does the face. Trying to paint that circle is hell. This shoulder pad looks so bad because I had to paint so many layers of black and then trying to, like, I go over the edges of the circle. So then I end up having to go back over, cover it in white, end up going back onto the circle a little bit, having to repaint. Oh, it was hell. Oh, but hi, Nick the Salamander. Oh yeah, because I'm like, you know, painting on the internet, I feel like I need to try doing as well as I can to paint them. I'm gonna give them the coloured rim though, because I've never been a fan of just having the black rim on the basis. I've not been a fan of having like the green basis edges either. If I'm having them like they've got grass flock on them, then I always paint like a dark brown on the edge, but these guys are in a more gravelly, rocky, deserty environment, like the savannah. So I go for this more deserty colour on the rim of the base. Oh, you've been a member for 15 months. Cupcake! Yay! There we go.
For my bikers, I put road markers on the bases.
Yeah, you put road markers on the bases. Oh, like, do you know, I've seen a bunch of people do that. Like where they put one of her asphalt textures down and then they paint it black and have the, what's it called, the white stripes on it and stuff. Something I do is add a tag of colour on the back of the bases and add that colour tag to the army list. Never question which squad is which with what gear. Yeah, what I do with my Black Templars at the moment is that this squad all has white knee pads. If they don't have a white knee pad, then they have the... This is in part just because I like to organise them. Or like he does, where it's the entire white shin pad, where he doesn't actually have a knee pad moulded on them. And this guy's the same. That's why it's white there. Well, that shows that for squad 2. And they are off the 3rd detachment, which means that they got purple shoulder pad here. Not for 3rd detachment, for 5th detachment. So each of my detachments, depending what detachment the squad belongs to, it has a different coloured shoulder pad. So 1st is blue. I think 2nd is white. No, 2nd might be... Oh no, 2nd's a heavy detachment, so I think that's actually yellow. But then each squad, yeah, they... Depending on what squad they are, they have a different, like, knee pad colour. So my squads are colour-coded. Yeah, as long as you're happy, it is good. This is a hobby. Your fun is the most important. Some people like cover art styles, some like metallic covers, some like 12 days and 20s look. Yeah, I like the not super grim dark, but I'd like going for a more grim, rough looking colour scheme where the dirty, the armour's a bit scraped and damaged. I'm thinking about maybe trying to paint something a different colour style. The comic book style I've seen looks like it would be really, really fun to do, but it's incredibly intimidating trying to get such clean lines on your model. It looks like it could be very time consuming. I know a lot of right now very popular is a volumetric style. So where you don't do edge highlighting, instead you do highlighting, so like the center point of like where the light is lighter, and then you create a gradient going out away from there into darker and into the recesses and stuff. So it's all about creating gradients, which you can do with a sponge or you can do that with an airbrush. I'm not a big fan of that, partly because, you know, armor doesn't really do that well. And also, I do much prefer this sort of where everything is damaged. It's less about highlighting and more about just adding wear and tear to the model. And the volumetric highlighting just looks too... It looks really nice, but also just looks too... I think one of the things about the volumetric is that I don't think it has a lot of readability. Which is, well, I'm a bit like... I use color coding because I'm slowly going blind. Age, diabetes, no. And my officers have red bases and red rims. Elites have blue bases and blue rims. Ooh, troops are brown. Heavy is grey. Ooh, that sounds cool. I don't have anything at the moment using colours to make them like distinct from one another. Yeah. Although I do actually have something, because the Black Templars, really, is every single officer is a sword weapon, so they have capes. And that's what helps to make them distinctive from the other squads. That being said, trying to make something like a lieutenant or whatever, their colour, looks different from just a normal sword weapon. That's a lot harder, and I go for more of a model looks more unique at that point. Although maybe adding some colour to them would actually be a good idea. As I know with like not Space Marines, with Ultramarines, they have the coloured helmets for like what the model is meant to represent. So I could actually do something like that. Go for the coloured helmets. There we go. And this guy stands out because he's got a giant axe. It's like, oh yeah, I know him. He's got the giant axe. He's easy to remember. Oh yeah, going for something that makes them more distinct in terms of colour. Like, just looking at them might be fun. Maybe I should start changing the colour of like helmets and things. Or I could have the bosses, like, or like the characters. Or be green. Not green. White, sorry. Why did I say green? Helmets. You may give one advice. After 40 hours of painting a hero squad, put them on the table, take a step away, decide if they look good enough. Holding a model 20 centimeters across from your face plays a trick of a mind. Yeah, I know that. I have that issue because I'm a painter. I'm an artist even. I did manga and stuff. And one of the issues I often had is forgetting for large... Not for large detail. Forgetting for big picture. Zooming in too much. One of the biggest pieces of advice you always have is don't zoom in. If you can avoid zooming in onto something, don't do it. Or if you like paint the entire thing as well as you can without having to zoom in any more than 50%. And only after that, just zoom out, save it, open it up on a different device like your phone or like on Discord or something and just look at it first after a couple of hours, see how it looks. If there's like details and stuff you definitely want to fix, then you can start zooming in and fixing the details, but always just try to get that big picture done first. Because the details get away from you. And often when you can do details super well, but when you zoom out again, they're not necessarily going to look good. My first Vtuber model had a really cool texture I painted onto the clothing of a model, but the texture was completely lost as soon as I, you know, just used the model normally. No, you couldn't really see it. So I was like, yeah, that looks, I think there was just so much of a model that just suffered because I spent my entire time just painting this texture that no one could even see. Do. Yeah, there we go. My biggest complaint, not my biggest complaint, my biggest issue at the moment is whenever I'm like, hey, do you want to see this model? Bring in, focus, zoom in on it. And then I just look at the camera, I'm like, oh no, all the issues, all the mistakes. Look at the, this is an absolute mess. This is screen stuff. That looks fine, this bit. That's green stuff still. This bit looks okay to here, and then it's just a mess. This model is even worse. This bit is still fine. It's a bit worse, but it's fine. The rest of it, yeah, that green stuff sucks. But again, they're just basic Crusader Squad dudes, so they're fine. You're not gonna really notice them. From this far away, he looks fine. This dude definitely looks fine. Especially when you just look at him from this angle. It's like, oh, yeah, he's okay. So you can do 4 hours on the fabric of a cloak and the effect will just not be seen. And vice versa. You can do some heavy dry brushing or layering and it looks great for table. Yeah. It's... One of the things I want to try learning to do is freehanding, because at the moment I absolutely suck at freehanding. And I see some really cool stuff done with it. Looks like the painter did their best. And what more can you ask? Yeah. I still think I have a long way to go, because when I was painting regularly, like I started playing when I was like really, really young in single digits. Like I think 5 or 6. My first models, actually for the first few years, I was a terrible painter. As you can imagine, a little kid being a terrible painter. But I continued playing until like university. And by that point, I had gotten really, really good. And like even won a couple of competition-y stuff. I don't have my models back when I got good at painting. I got rid of them. And I feel like I'm still, in many regards, not at that level anymore. And I kind of want to get back to that level. I think in some regards I might be a bit better. I'm definitely a slower painter now, though, because I remember painting like about 100 guardsmen over a space of about 2 days. Like, I had a weekend to paint, so I painted 100 guardsmen, and they weren't that bad. Every single one had eyes. I actually had a fine point marker that I used for the eyes. Not a Sharpie, it was instead an artist pen that has a very, very, very tiny felt tip used to do incredible detail work, and it was just good enough to just poke into the middle of an eye and do a perfect pupil. And at that point, I also was painting, like, what I'll do is I'll go in with a silver white of the eye, which would be a slight grey actually. Go into the centre of it and paint a little bit of white, just like proper white. Then I would put a dot of whatever paint colour I wanted the iris of the eye to be. Very carefully take a brush and just like slightly, like it'll be a brush like this, and what I'll do is I'll get like just 1 or 2 strands of a brush with a very light colour and just brush it along the edges of it to create like an effect within the iris.
How many cameras do you have for a hand cam stream?
1. I have 1 camera. I have this camera. Actually, no, 2 cameras. I have this camera, and I have a camera there that's the one recording me, so of a model. But the camera here is a document camera, and InSwan 2, and the camera there is a iPhone. That's literally the only reason I have an iPhone. I just bought a refurbished iPhone on Amazon really cheaply. That I could handle the software that I needed it to handle. And it allows me to do stuff like this. Let's start to the flat large surface. Dreadnoughts front plates are great for learning. Or tanks. Yeah, I've seen a bunch on tanks. I've also seen a bunch on cloaks for freehanding. I was wondering what I need to do a Gundam model stream. Gundam models are pretty big, but honestly, my first handcam streams were just using a really old webcam I had. It was a really good webcam, but it was an old one. And all I did was have like this arm that held it. And it was just held above. But the issue is it took like half an hour to set up properly, and the arm just constantly got to the way of my microphone, of everything else. So now I've just got an InSwan, which is a very small document camera. Camera itself is about this big inside a head that has a button to focus it, a button for the light. It has a light on it. InSwan document camera. All in all, really good. You can also... The great thing about the camera is it's got its own stand and stuff. So if you want to, you can just go like all the way out like this. So if you want to do a Gundam stream where you're building a really big model, you can. It can even go even higher up. But I prefer to have it further down like this. Yeah. There we go. You can see him in all his glory. But at the moment I'm painting tiny models, so it's better to have them further down. They can actually see what I'm doing. First, I need a desk. I mean, in theory, you don't need a desk. You could do floor cams. And you could just sit on the floor. I mean, I do know someone who streams, or who streamed if they didn't even have a computer. They did it all on the phone. And they, like, sat on the floor. I think they had a phone and a tablet. I know people who also do, like, streaming and videos, and they do it at, like, a coffee table in the living room. Or they do it from their bed, from the kitchen. Some people do it in the kitchen, like on the kitchen cam table and stuff. If you want to do these things, it's often just best to work with whatever you've got. I was unique of when I started. I already had like quite a lot of high quality equipment. But that's just because, you know, I needed this type of equipment anyway for all sorts of stuff beforehand. Cloaks are hard, at least on GW models, because cloaks are often creased a lot. Yeah. Shields. Yeah, I might try it on a vehicle one day. But it depends. It's like really scary. There we go. Ooh, we can see what's releasing next week. And then I can decide, is it worth getting a new, what's it called? Box. Not box. There was miniature boxes, but after for magnetic trays. That's how I store my miniatures. I got loads of them now. There we go. Let's... Let's look what's coming next week. Shield your eyes, because the website's coming. Dun, 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 dun. Yarick returns to Armageddon next week. Yarick's coming. Rastak's coming. Commissar Graves is coming. So is Intreaser, Dogmatic Superior, Inquisitor... Okay, every single website that sells Warhammer is going to crash next week. They were crashing with the Defiler. Oh yeah, I forgot this came with the Squad Acadians. Battalion Arcs. Ooh, Arcs are getting their battalion, which has the War Trike. This thing. You'd expect that they'd put bikes in it. Like this guy makes bikes. Battle line. Why doesn't this come with bikes? Oh, and a Death Watcher gets in a random battalion? What the heck? Adeptus Sororitas as well. Armageddon, Yarick's return. Oh, Commissar Yarick dice. What the heck? They look cool. An Orc dice. And the Freebooters Code, special edition. And the Freebooters Code. Oh, and Death World 20th anniversary. My goodness. World Ablaze Anthology. Legend. I hope you don't like money. I hope you really don't like money. It's like everything you might ever want to have is coming next week. So Yarick's coming. Like, couldn't they have at least spread these releases over like a few weeks? You know, let payday come around. Like, do you want Yarick? Because Yarick's here. I don't think I want to get Yarick. Wastack Guts Mech, cool model. I don't think I want it. Commissar Graves, I am really tempted. This is such a beautiful model. Some people have been like, it's really bad, but I'm like, I love this model. This is also a cool model. Dogmata Superior, cool model. This is kind of cool. I don't like that helmet. It looks very silly. I think I definitely want to get this. I'm not getting. I really don't like these models here. I mean, I think all of them look really, really cool. I just hate the fact that all of them are monopose models. And that's bad. The monopose models, there's absolutely no options on them. You don't want a custom Mega Blaster on your Deathcopter? Tough, you have to have one. You want some rocket launchers? You got rocket launchers, that's it. You want any other cool arms or any cool heads? No, you got no options. Here, only birds of the air. I don't like that. I mean, for other armies, maybe, yeah, I could deal with that. Like, yeah, Necrons. There's no options on this unit. Okay, yeah, that's fine. For Necrons, you don't need options on... Where did my mouse go? You don't need options on them. For Orcs, you want options. You want to customize things. You want to kit bash. Make it easy to kit bash. These things are cool, though. My goodness. I definitely want to get for Armageddon book. You'll also get for Armageddon containing rules of brutal vehicle heavy battles, including the ability to upgrade ace units and track their glorious vehicles. Ooh! That sounds cool. So, guys, the new Apocalypse rules are coming with the... Oh, what's it called? The Eye of Terror campaign book, which I don't know when mine's arriving. Gold foil. Both of these look cool. I kind of like this one much better. This looks so much cooler, but this is a special edition version. I think there's a special edition version. It's got a gold foil on it, but this looks so much... I like this art way more. Armageddon Return of the Yarick will be available in both its regular edition and the Slick Collector's Edition. Okay. Orcs and Space Marines. 6 new detachments of Astra Militarum, Orcs and Space Marines. These dice are so nice. The dice are nice. Oh. Reboot to Special Edition. The novel is available for pre-order. Okay, I don't think I care too much about that book. Death World looks like it's really nice. And I've heard someone just saying recently it's a really good book. World Ablaze. Following an example of infamous Gaskell Thacker, fast hordes of orcs are drawn to the smog-choked Hive world. Ooh. Legends of War Omnibus. Yarick for Omnibus. Veterans Fall. When Cadia fell, a handful of traumatized survivors found themselves stranded on a ruined redoubt world carved apart by rival cults. Since then, the Casvican veterans known as the Tattershields have anchored the crumbling Imperial defense, holding back the overwhelming might of the archenemy with sabotage, assassinations, and unbreakable discipline. The commander, Constantine Tychon, is an inspiration to the beleaguered defenders, but he is haunted by guilt and consumed by fatalism, numbly fighting on with no hope of victory or atonement. The Imperial's grip of the planet is slippery, infiltrate the slow discard of the ranks, and a sadistic new enemy is bearing down upon them. But when all hope is dead, only defiance remains, and Tychon would lead his indomitable Casvikin to a better end. Veterans of Fall by William Crow contains the new Novelia, Veterans of the Fall, the complete serial Tactus of Hope, was published in it's published in White Dwarf magazine. And the shorter story Tactus Shield. Okay, that's cool. Then French and German books. Oh, a new Warhammer Battle Report. This looks cool. I want to watch that. Oh, okay. I need to carefully plan my money. I kind of want to get this. I don't really need these guys, but honestly, the savings are probably going to be worth them. I do want these. I do want that, and I was planning to get a second Rogo Dawn anyway. Oh gosh. But these things are so... I have so many guardsmen I've not built yet. Maybe I shouldn't get that. Maybe I shouldn't get that. Oh, I have so many guardsmen. Like, I've got the Death Corps of Krieg, army set from when they release. I've got the Death Corps of Krieg army set from Christmas. I've got the... what else do I have? Oh yeah, I've got the Combat Patrol. I've got 3 Lehman Russes. I've got the Combat Patrol Magazine Guardsman. And so few of it is actually being built, let alone painted any of it. Oh, I don't have any room to put them.
I don't really like the vehicles in 40k. They seem like a major step backward compared to O.
Compared to IRL. That's meant to be the point. The material science of the vehicles is much, much more advanced. Well, the point is that they're using like STCs that were not originally designed for military vehicles. And vehicle designs that I think literally one of the Land Raider or something. While it was by Arcan Land, I think it was called, it was still based on an SDC. And that SDC is basically just literally for World War I tank. And that's why, the prototype Land Raider from Horus Heresy looks just like the World War I tank. It's basically literally taking that World War I tank, which they found the designs for that were kept in historical records, and just using modern, futuristic material sciences to turn it into something that's actually effective. It's not just material sciences, it's like the engines for their tanks and vehicles are way better than any modern engine. And the fuel and everything else and the weaponry on board. It's just the actual designs of a tank are so backwards. If the same goes for aircraft and stuff, where they kind of just use aircraft that were designed only for space combat, especially for Space Marine ones. That's why they're all designed, that's why they all look big squares, because they're not designed for, flying atmosphere. But they just basically gave it the best material sciences they had, or second best after the Custodes, and just went, this flying brick that's meant to fly in space, that's why it's square. Yeah, we're going to take it into atmosphere. And it's going to fly because we just put so much thrusters on it. It can fly. The wings on it are not to help it fly. They're just there to help it, change its position in the sky. And to make sure it continues facing forward. We don't really give it much lift. Everything is just pure might of thrusters to keep it into the air. What was new 6-wheeled guard vehicles look like old British Sacraments armoured vehicles? Yeah, they're meant to. There are actually still modern vehicles that look like that, kind of. Especially in terms of the size of them. You've got the striker vehicles that are used by America at the moment and some NATO countries. You have, and then you've got, I think it's striker, isn't it? I think there's a few others. Like, they kind of got the same base design. You've got the new French tank, but I say new, it's not that new anymore. But it's relatively modern French tank that has a very similar six-wheeled design. I can't remember what it's called. It's not technically a tank. AMC or something like that. It's actually one of my favourite military vehicles. It's a recon vehicle that's also a tank destroyer. And you can also just give it a normal autocannon if you want to. Of heavier cannon. So while it looks like it's kind of backwards, it's not actually that backwards, the idea of a vehicle. Like, right now, modern warfare is all about mobility warfare. And as a result, these ideas of like these really fast-moving, heavily armed, but not necessarily as well armoured vehicles. Like, the entire point of the arm of these vehicles isn't to make the vehicle survive being hit. It's designed to keep the crew alive if it gets hit.
It's still cold in the New Mexican desert.
No! How is it cold in a desert unless it's nighttime? But yeah, I mean, that actually one of the more modern ideas of doing 40k vehicle designs, or at least human vehicle designs. Because the entire point of like modern vehicle designs, I say modern mobility warfare vehicles, is it's designed to keep the crew and whoever's being transported alive, and potentially make it so that the damage is repairable. So it's like you got the MRAPs, which is kind of what the Taurox and this new open-topped vehicle are kind of based on. And what they are, it's quite heavily armoured, they easily survive small arms fire. But the main point of them is like when they get hit, it's got certain failure points on it. So that basically the entire blast gets directed through a failure point. And that failure point can then just be repaired. And the main thing is like when they get hit by a mine, it just blows the wheel off. Like the entire force of a mine is effectively funneled into the wheel cavity, smashes the wheel off, and then all you do is check if the wheel's actually in good enough state, pick it back up, put it back on the vehicle, and just drive it back to base. And then the engineers at base can just like fix the suspension or whatever else got damaged and replace the wheel full. But yeah, that's what those kind of vehicles reminded me of at the moment. Yeah, they are still like archaic compared to modern ideas of vehicle designs and stuff. But if you want more modern ideas of vehicle designs, the Guardsmen and the Space Marines aren't really meant to be them. They're meant to feel archaic and, you know, backwards, because that's what they are. The entire society is archaic and backwards. It's inspired by medieval Christian Europe, predominantly Catholic Europe, and like Spain with their Inquisition and stuff. You have the... So it makes sense that their military doctrine and their vehicles are again backwards. Now they are going more modern, like Carl's ideas. Carl is trying to push them into a more modern idea and like bringing in new ideas and change and stuff like that. That's why you have the Guardsmen no longer wearing bricks on their head. Instead, they've actually got proper round helmets. Again, they're not that modern looking helmets, but they're a lot more modern than the old ones they had. And for flak armor and stuff. And like why the Sentinel's no longer just a box with legs. It's a slightly rounded box with legs. Because round armor is better at deflecting incoming fire and can provide better protection. I do kind of like... I want to know the lore of these vehicles. Like, are these newly found vehicles? Or are they new designs specifically of Carl? Or do they... Are they meant to be like, are they one of the things where they've always been there? They've always been around, we've just never really seen them. But I do kind of like them. It definitely fits in the style of 40k. I do wish the Tau vehicles, though, had more of a modern idea to them. I know. Had more actual ideas of, like, how vehicle design should be. Even if they try making it look more sci-fi. Because they are meant to be inspired more by, like, the idea of what if modern people were in the 40k setting. That's kind of what the idea of the Tau originally was. Except then they went and gave them like, okay, but we'll make these modern people fish. We'll give them sci-fi weapons, obviously. But the entire point is that they're constantly innovating. And, you know, actually applying logic to the designs rather than just tradition. I kind of like that idea. It'd be nice to see more of that. As cool as Devilfish's look and stuff, I don't really feel like they have modern vehicle design. In mind with them. Like, you got these giant thrusters on them that, you know, are just giant failure points, but not like good failure points. It's the kind of thing like, oh, you just hit there, it's going to stop moving, and there's no real protection for it. It's not like the entire body is in the way of just hitting one of those thrusters. No, you can get a very good angle very easily on them. They also fly relatively high, so I think they're very tall. Very wide. Very easy target, as it were. I guess that's where the Eldar vehicles are a bit better. Not the Dark Eldar ones, but the Eldar, in which their vehicles have a very... Oops. Whack the camera. The vehicles have a very flat kind of idea to them, where they're relatively long, but the entire thing is a flat, which helps them look very sleek and very fast. Well, point is, it's like modern ideas. You got like the defensive onion. First, you don't want to be seen. If you are seen, you don't want to be hit, and if you are hit, you don't want to be destroyed. And that's what it feels like for Eldar vehicles do. They are sleek, they're very flat, and they fly very close to the ground if they want to fly, when they're, you know, in ground combat. So they're not very easy to see. And they probably won't even show up on on your scans and stuff very well. Then you struggle actually trying to hit them. Well, they've got this very flat thing to them. They move very quickly. It's got to be very hard to actually hit them. The main issue is that the crew are, you know, in these glass canopies. And as a result, the part of the defensive onion that people often forget about, and this is one of the most important bits, is if you are hit, if your vehicle is destroyed, your crew will live and escape. And that's where the Eldar vehicles aren't actually too bad with that. Like, if they're hit, as long as they're not hitting the canopy exactly where the crew are, they actually have a really good exit to the vehicle. Like, the ammo's not right behind them, the fuel's not right behind them or anything. Instead, they're in these isolated cabins or canopy areas in the vehicle, where if a vehicle takes a significant hit, they can just get out quite easily and escape. They can probably even eject out of a vehicle. So they got great crew survivability in that regard. But the issue is that right at the front with just this thin piece of, I mean, okay, it's super advanced Eldar glass, but If it gets hit by an anti-tank weapon, that crew person is probably dead. The devilfish kind of resembles the A10 with a gun, with a front gun and the positions of the engines. Yeah, it kind of does, I guess. I think the Avenger Strike Fighter kind of resembles it a bit more. That's one of the 40k ones. Not 40k, Imperial Guard, Imperial Navy things. Oh, you do have those other Eldar, not Eldar, Tau vehicles. Oh yeah, Chaos Titans return. Oh, they're yours now. Okay. How much do you want for one of these Chaos Titans? 142 quid. That's not just for guns. 135 quid for just for arm. What about for body? 1,276 quid for just for body. Okay. It's been going well. It's been going well. 678 for a Reaver Titan body. 453 for a Warhound Titan body. Do you want to see inside the Titans though for crew? Yeah, you do not want to be the crew of a Chaos Titan. Never mind, I see where website browsing. We just switched to a website. You want to see the Warhound over here? Look at this guy. The crew of a Warhound Titan is not having a fun time. Of the Chaos Warhound Titan, but let's look. Xenos Armies, Tau Empire. Ooh, the Tiger Shark looks really cool. I love the design of a Tiger Shark. Well, you've got those other planes, don't you? The Devilfish, yeah, it kind of looks like an A10. The issue with it being like a tank, though, is like your main mobility areas are really big targets and really easy to hit. Your crew is sat right here, meaning it's got the same issue that the Eldar vehicles do, in which you got the front canopy. But if that gets hit, your crew's basically dead. You've not got much easy escape. It's not that bad, because if we look at it, it's mainly the driver that's at issue here. Oh, can I not see like the entire thing? Oh, I was hoping I could get like a 360 view of it. So it's mainly the driver that's at this issue, since it looks like the driver's meant to be sat here. If they might be wrong, that might just be a camera. But the other thing is, it's like, where is the ammo? Like, it does seem to have a relatively good design of, okay, it's hit, it's destroyed, the crew need to escape. They've got multiple areas to escape. It's got a hatch at the back, it's got a hatch on either side. This is mostly because it's designed as a troop carrier, so, you know, it's got loads of hatches on. If this is just a camera and not where the troops actually go, that's good. Well, the main thing is, where's the ammo? I'd say that it's like, okay, maybe it doesn't have any explosive ammo on it or anything like that you have to worry about ammo cook-off. Well, I don't think that's true, because the railgun used to have an explosive radius, I believe. And I don't think it still does, but it used to have an explosive radius where it fired explosive shots. I could buy with those prices in the 50s. You could buy a house with those prices in the 50s. Yeah, but also in the 50s, that would be like 2 years of wages. But look at this thing. Oh. So yeah. Oh no, the iron cannon would be. I don't know where they store for burst cannon ammunition. I guess maybe the Tau vehicles aren't too bad. My main design criteria here is you need to move where your engines are. You need to better protect them. And also, where's the fuel going in here? Like, is it actually properly separated away from where the crew compartment is? Because that's the main thing. Is if you look at like modern NATO vehicles, you'll realize that between where the ammo and where the fuel is and stuff, you have like this really thick armored wall and these special air gaps in it that divert all of the explosive force away from the crew compartment. So and it separates it from the crew compartment and forces explosion away from the crew compartment, meaning that even if it does have an ammo cook-off, the crew should hopefully still survive. You try to give them the best chance to survive. In part because the crew's often worth way more than a tank. Like a skilled tank crew is amazing. You can build a new tank easily. It takes you years to train a new crew up. I'd say the Avenger Strike Fight to look similar to a World War II plane, like the light. Yeah, I guess so. Oh yeah, where's the other planes? The Tower of a Couple of really cool. Oh, the Mantis back. The Tower of a Couple of cool planes. Like this is their ground attack plane, I believe. Kind of cool. But yeah, with these tanks, I think if they did redesign the tanks and like release new versions of them, it would be cool to see like a change in design that went into like these more modern ideas of how you would protect the crew and everything else. Our Dory tanks, the main issue of them is go down to where the Falcon is. Yeah, here you go. Look at this. Now, if it does take damage, your crew are probably going to be safe as long as they don't get hit personally. But they don't exactly have much protection. But they can at least escape the vehicle very, very easily. I do like that sort of thing where it's like designed not to be too tall and designed to fly really close to the ground. Oh, but yeah, we've been painting well. So far, we've mostly just been doing easy stuff today, like painting for basis. We went over some of the models and added some extra damage to them using the Typhus Corrosion. We repainted this guy's armor. He needed some extra paint in areas where it was a bit grey, where I didn't want it to be grey. And we also changed his flesh tone to be more desecrated around with the metal layers, and now it's all dried. How does it still have the darker shadows on it? It does have the darker shadows. That looks a lot nicer. Still not amazing, but it's better than nothing. Well, there we go. So that's all of these guys done. Let me go and... What time is it? 20 minutes to... I've got a metal tray here. And on this metal tray, I've got the next models that need painting. 8 good old neophytes. Now these guys can go and onto the tray. We'll keep one out as a reference piece. But I need to get a neophyte of one of my older models out to also keep as a reference piece. There we go. So yeah, we'll paint all 8 of the neophytes at the same time, I think. Neophytes are so cool. Look at him with that bolt pistol. And look at Daddy over here. Ow. So I've got this guy as a reference piece. Now the issue is that I never really thought when I was painting the neophytes about the knee pad issue of, you know, painting the knee pads different colours. And these I painted both the knee pads and these guys white. And these guys are meant to be in the first squad. So what I'm thinking about doing here is painting this guy with that knee pad black. And keep just this knee pad white. Yeah. Keep just a single knee pad white. Alternatively, I can just switch all of these guys into squad 2 and keep these guys in squad 1 by just having that one knee pad be black. Actually, maybe just painting both the knee pads black. Represent, hey, we're squad 1. And just create a theme of the scouts always have the knee pads, both knee pads coloured. That could be good. Yeah, that'll probably be the best idea. Just have these move to squad 2. This guy in squad 1. We got Jiff! We got Jiff! Briar's raiding! Oh no! No, Briar! She's coming in! She's raiding! Protect us! Put the sheet defences up! Where is everyone? We'll wait for Briar's raiders to be like, hi. She's gonna bombard me, isn't she? She's gonna bombard me. Don't bombard me, Briar. I've already got enough head trauma today. I don't need more. Get some Black Templar contrast. Cupcake. No! Go check out Briar's channel. But hello, Briars and Briars chat. Big love hearts to you. Thank you for popping in. I hope you had a great stream. For those who don't know me, I'm Cupcake Conjurer in both name and profession. First name Cupcakes, like a name conjurer, and I conjure cupcakes. Most people call me Cupcon or sometimes Cupcat, but that's not my name. I'm not a cat. I'm just a cake that looks a bit like a cat right now. And I hope you did well in your Kingdom Hearts things. Yeah. We're currently painting some dudes. You know, I've been doing so much painting, you can tell by how grey they are. I've also decided to protect my cutting. Oh no. Oh no, there's a... You can barely see, there's a little rush. And there's a little bush hair there. Coming at a 90-degree angle. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We're going to just start painting this armor all black. Don't want to have one of the knee pads white. Yeah, let's have one of the knee pads white. This knee pad. How did we paint him? Yeah, that's just all going to be black. How did I do the leathers on these guys? This is a very, very light leather. What the heck did I use of that? I feel like it was a contrast paint over white. Maybe it was just Golem and Flesh over white paint. Vital and Flesh shade over white paint. I'm not a cat. You gamba. Oh yeah, don't forget to rest. And you know, take care of yourselves. Because you know you've had a long stream. Hydrate, eat good food, sleep well, all that good stuff, you know. One of the things is I should have done all of the base colours before doing my dry brushing. I feel like. So the initial dry brushing we did kind of all seems pointless. By this point. Yeah. There we go. Just paint all of this. Yeah. Ooh, and then the boots were... Oh yeah, the boots were black. I was just leather over the black tips of the boots. And bottoms of the boots. So we'll do that too. I'm gonna need to find whatever tone I used of that very light leather colour. I do like how that looks on the scout. Compared to the very dark leather colour I've got going on these guys. I guess I could start by painting on Wraithbone first. Dreamer Raid. Hello, TA. Oh, hi, Scarlet King. Would you rather have all the food from now on be tasteless or all liquids from now on taste like blood? Do taste pretty good. Have you never tasted blood? Very high in iron. Very, very tasty. I mean, to be fair, I couldn't really care if food's tasteless or not. I'm not a big food eater. Food is evil. I'd rather my cola taste like cola, to be honest. Oh, hi, Scarlet King. Oh, look at all this black paint. But we need to paint under this model. Okay, on this guy, I painted that white. So we'll keep with the same idea. I feel like I must have gone over with Agrex of Shade. Whatever tone I did paint it. Did I do Acadian Flesh Tone? No, it looks too different in colour to Acadian Flesh Tone. Maybe a skeleton hard? No, it wouldn't be skeleton hard. That's a very particular colour, very yellowish. How do I do that thing there? Oh no, just painted black. Okay. I painted the original helmets all a metallic colour, and in the end I wasn't a big fan of the metallic colour on them. I might instead go for... What do you think would be a good colour? Maybe white? Oh, like for white shields. For the, if you don't know, the conscripts have like white stripes on their helmets in the Imperial Guard. And they're called white shields, at least the Acadian ones were. Since these are for untrained neophytes, it might make sense to give them a white helmet to represent their status symbol as newbies. Oh, I could just paint it black, like the rest of the armour. That could definitely work. Nah, I like the idea of painting the helmet white so it stands out. I'll do that then. I think I might have watered down or thinned down my contrast paint a bit too much. That's fine, I can always go back over with Abaddon Black if we really need to. I think they've released the new points costs of the new models that are coming out next week. There we go. No, they've not released new points costs for them. Sad. So yeah, we're in the very boring stage at the moment of just painting the armor. painting for base colours, which are all going to be very similar. I'm going to have to look through my paints and figure out what paint to use both for that leather, because I do want to repeat it. How do I paint better than anything? Okay, let me go through these paints. What colour could I have used? Wasn't Nasbrag yellow, wasn't Montblanc brown. Could have been Guilliman flesh shade. Guilliman flesh shades, rate on white. I'll paint some white paint on for shoe. Where's my wraith bone? Is this my wraith bone? Yep, definitely needs a good old shake. Oops. I just whacked my microphone, pop filter vent twice as well as shaking fizz up. There we go. I'll just paint one of the shoes with a quick coat of wraith bone, because that was the original tone I used for them. With the undercoat. Info, it looks more white than wraith bone. I can't think what other skin tones I had or what other tones it could be. Only a single layer. That's fine. And give a good shake to the Guilliman flesh tone. And maybe it's just a single layer of it. Maybe that's all it really took. Is that dry? Dry enough. Okay, that actually does look correct. Not quite the correct colour, but that's because I'm painting it onto a slightly wet surface still. But yeah, okay, so wait for that to dry. Let's just paint it onto the others and see if we get the same tone onto a grey surface. No, it becomes a much darker tone if I paint it onto a grey surface. Which was expected. Okay, I'll do the black onto one more model. Do the armor and the punch. Yes. Colored. I guess I can use Cadian's skin tone on them to keep it the correct colour. Yeah, I've been looking at trying to paint my arcs and how I'd go about painting each one. And oh my gosh, arcs are incredibly intimidating to paint. I mean, I already knew they were because we've already painted one arc and a battle wagon. But my goodness, they got so much stuff on every single arc model. There was just so much going on. How is that for beginner-friendly faction? Nah, I think a lot of it you can just paint the same colour and get away with it because it's art. And we kind of do that with Templars and Space Marines anyway. Like, yeah, we'll just paint all of this the same colour. Over it's right next to one another. They should add more stuff on FE Arc. But they are doing that. They're giving them shooters now for back. So they are adding more stuff to the arcs. There's so many bolts and rivets and joints and it's like, what? So many armor plates and extra pieces just all over the place. That's because every error on an arc looks intentional. Yeah. It's like if it's streaked over with blue paint, it just looks like the arc streaked over with blue paint. Not that you just made a mistake when you're trying to paint a different part blue. Last time I painted arcs was when I was still a really bad painter, when I was like really young. Painting incredibly thick layers on every single model. How do I freehand? There we go. Notice how we didn't make any jokes of that. What do you mean? Oh, like that I'm still a bad painter. If he made that, I would have cried. I'd have been like, I'm trying my best. Why are you making fun of my painting? Tell them, why would you make fun of my painting? That's so mean. You didn't make me, but you wanted to. You were like, I could do. I wanted to, but I'm well behaved, so I didn't. And it's like, oh. Oh. You get all of the negatives, but none of the positives in this scenario. Yeah. Like, you didn't even make a funny joke. You just chose to say that you didn't make a joke. Didn't even have a chance of me finding it a funny joke. Instead, it just sounds like you wanted to make fun of me and say I'm a bad painter, but you held back, but not enough to not gloat about holding back. You know, yeah, so really, you're just being... You took a situation that could be very bad and just decided to select the very worst situation possible out of it. You trumped it up, Talan. You trumped it up. Thanks for the drink. I am the real victim here. No, how can... Also, my chat stopped showing me anything. Just give me a moment. Top chat. Live chat. There we go. Just had to switch between top and live to refresh it. Oh, this guy's already been paid. He's called Max Lancer. My goodness. We've got a bunch of other guys that need names, though. I never even knew that guy was called Max Lancer. Why is he the only scout with a name? And it's a really cool name, Max Lancer. My goodness. Turns out he named himself. He did a Toy Story. He woke up, found a brush and some paint, named himself. He didn't paint himself, no, he's just like, I want a name. I hope you got the wrong paint and are currently painting all your models a very dark blue. That's very obvious in a different lighting. No, it's the same. It's Black Templar contrast. It's a bit watered down, but I kind of like it. Being a bit thinner. I can just always go back over another layer of it to just darken it up.
I still love those drums on your BGM.
Yay, I'm glad you like them. I like the bit where it's like do 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 do. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Let's just go back over with some more black to just really make the bit pop. Well, there's no point because, you know, I'm going to be painting other base colours than the rest of the colours, and each time I'm doing that, I'm going to be making mistakes.
Which American shows did you watch growing up?
Simpsons, Scrubs. Scrubs is one of my favourite TV shows, especially American shows. Friends, which was okay. Lots of cartoons, Scooby-Doo, Looney Tunes. Shaolin Showdown. Bits of things like Codename Kids Next Doors, Foster's Parents. Powerpuff Girls. I loved Powerpuff Girls. She-Ra was one. My Little Pony. Obviously, I loved My Little Pony. What else was there? I watched bits of things like Johnny Test and SpongeBob SquarePants. House. House was one. 24 is another thing I watched. Walking Dead. Game of Thrones. Well, that wasn't really quite growing up. That was like late teens, a Game of Thrones, I guess. Early teens? I don't know. Teens? Yeah, Game of Thrones. You mean House MD? Fake fan? Yeah. I mean, I wasn't really a big fan. It was my sister's favourite show. I don't know. I just watched lots of whatever was on TV, basically. Or whatever my sister bought box sets of. My sister's a really big one into that sort of stuff. Lots of things I watched were reruns. I had seen bits of Adventure Time, I guess, because I'm like watching through the series now, and I'm like, I don't know that episode. And I know that episode, but like I've seen those before. I can't remember what else what else I liked. Watched quite a bit of anime, I guess. I know watched stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh! The original Dragon Ball series randomly appeared on TV at times. Oh, what was some other Disney time? Oh, Kim Possible! I loved Kim Possible so much. Obviously that. Was there another TV show I really liked? I feel like, oh, Lilo and Stitch, yeah, and Jackie Chan Adventures. I saw bits of Jackie Chan Adventures. That was fun. Loved Lilo and Stitch. I never really caught Gravity Falls. I ended up watching that like not too long ago for the first time. I don't know, most of what when I watched TV, it was like when we were eating and it was like with family and parents and stuff. Except when I was very, very young, in which case I watched TV by myself. But then I got into things like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Warhammer and stuff, so I spent most of my time doing that. I spent most of my time playing, if I'm honest, rather than watching TV. The main things are really just... Oh gosh, I'm lagging out now. I'm lagging out. Live on stream, but it's midnight. Good night. Good night, Piot. I hope you have a good sleeps. And also, you watched Roger Ramjet and Cool McCool. Oh, I watched Wait, was Thunderbirds American or was that British? That might have been British. Doctor Who was British. That was a big thing I watched growing up. I did watch bits of Peppa Pig and Bob the Builder. But again, they're both British. Oh, Frasier! Oh, yeah, whenever I had, like, it was school holidays or something, my mother often had to take me into work with her. And they had, like, a place at the work upstairs in the attic. And they had a TV and stuff. So I just sat up there just watching Frasier and stuff like that. August Frasier always came on, just reruns of Frasier. And MASH. Reruns of Frasier and MASH. I didn't really watch much MASH though. Thunderbirds was animatronics in the UK. Yeah, Thunderbirds was a cartoon for the UK. Thunder was a cartoon. Oh yeah. Yeah, Thunderbirds was the British puppets and stuff. And my mother loved the puppet show, so she'd always put them on. With Thunderbirds, Stingray. I didn't like Stingray, it scared me. Thunderbirds was good though. Thunder was an attic cryptid working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. No, they had darts. They had a dartboard, so I played darts. And watched Frasier. Oh, Columbo. I loved Columbo, and I still love Columbo so much. I absolutely adore just watching those TV shows. In fact, it's like one of the first TV shows like I bought. You know, the actual, it was only digital purchase, but still buying them. Because I'm like, I just want to watch Columbo whenever I want to. But it's 7:15. Is there anyone I know who's live right now? YouTube, tell me who's live. YouTube. YouTube doesn't do its show who's live very well anymore. Let me go into anyone I know who I don't think so. Okay, nah, the only person I know who's live is doing a collab. And we don't like raiding into collabs because I feel like it upsets the collab. But thanks for the stream. Thank you for coming to the stream. Faux shows are amazing. Yeah. MASH I watched a lot of. Yeah, my grandfather also fought in Korea. Yeah, but I never really watched. My mother really liked MASH, but I never really watched much of it. I think it was never it was always one of those things where it would follow up a show I did watch, but I didn't have time to watch it. Like either I had to go somewhere or had homework to do or something. So it was never one where I could actually, stay to watch it. For other things, but it was, again, a lot of it was just whatever's TV on the time, so most of it was like reruns, because I rarely got to watch at like prime time. So a lot of the shows that were on like growing up in the prime time thing, I didn't see. Or, it's prime time, so you only get to see one of them. So there was a lot that I missed. But anyway, thank you for coming to the... There we go. Yeah. Thank you for coming to watch my stream. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. Remember to work hard, but play harder. Enjoy cardboard. Have some on your desk so you can just nom on it when you need to. And also, eat good food. Sleep well. Dream of cupcakes, but don't eat for cupcakes. And take care of yourselves. And be kind to others and vice versa. Bye-bye, everyone. Big love hearts to you all. Tomorrow we're going to be building knights. It's going to be night week next week. Yeah. How do I end the stream again? Bum, 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 bum. Smash you in the face. Love you all. Don't forget to like the stream if you've not liked already, please.